A Cashier's Journey to Financial Freedom. Introduction. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is coming to save you. That's harsh, but it's true. Your boss won't save you. The government won't save you. A lottery ticket won't save you. Maybe right now you're in debt. Maybe your paycheck disappears the moment you get it. Maybe you're scared about your future. Maybe every night you think, how can I keep this going? 63% of working Americans live paycheck to paycheck. The average credit card debt is $6,200. 40% of households can't cover an unexpected $400 expense. You're not alone. But in this audiobook, I'm going to tell you something. Being alone doesn't mean being helpless. I'm going to tell you Jessica Martinez's story. 28 years old, cashier at Walmart in Houston. Earns $12.50 per hour. Monthly net income, $1,800. She has $8,500 in credit card debt. Her car is broken. No life insurance. No retirement plan. That was 5 years ago. Today, Jessica has $47,000 in savings, zero debt. Her investment portfolio is growing. And most importantly, she's free. How? She's not super smart. She's not lucky. She doesn't have a rich family. She didn't win the lottery. She didn't become a crypto millionaire. She just did one thing. She was consistent. Every day, small steps, never stopping. And you can do it too. If you dedicate 30 minutes to yourself every day, if you follow the steps in this audiobook, in 12 months, you'll be a different person. In 2 years, you'll be free. But there's a condition. You have to do it. Reading isn't enough. Dreaming isn't enough. You need action. Are you ready? Let's begin.
Chapter 1. Waking Up at the Register. The Mindset Revolution. Nobody feels rich working at a checkout counter. Jessica didn't either. Every morning up at 6, gets in her old Toyota, arrives before the store opens at 7, puts on her uniform, steps up to the register. Beep, beep, beep. Milk, $4.50. Bread, $3.20. Detergent, $8.90. 8 hours of the same motion, the same sentences. Hello, how are you? Your total is $47.60. Have a nice day. And every day, the same thought. Is this all I am? I know when you stand there doing that monotonous job, you think, is this all my life is worth? You say your life isn't in your hands, but you're wrong. Your life is exactly in your hands, and change starts in your mind. The victim mindset, why most people stay in the same place. Jessica had a coworker named Marcus, 42 years old, been a cashier for 15 years. Every day, the same complaints. The boss exploits us. Wages are too low. The government protects the rich. We weren't born lucky. Was Marcus right? Yes, partially. Wages really were low. Life was expensive. The system was unfair. But Marcus wasn't doing anything. He was just complaining. And for 15 years, nothing changed. Still a cashier. Still in debt. Still unhappy. Because Marcus had a victim mindset. The victim mindset works like this. I can't because. Conditions aren't right. It's impossible for me. Others are lucky, I'm not. This mindset is a prison, and you're giving the keys to others. Research shows that people with an external locus of control, meaning those who believe external factors determine their lives, save 42% less and borrow 35% more than people with an internal locus of control. Why? Because they think, I can't change the system anyway, so why bother? And that thought keeps them exactly where they are. The Freedom Mindset, Jessica's Turning Point. Jessica's life changed one night, the night of her 28th birthday, alone in her small studio apartment, watching television. A Netflix documentary, 72 Hours Beyond Broke, about people who went bankrupt. A woman was telling her story. 55 years old, never saved anything, no retirement plan. Now at 70, still forced to work. "I wish I'd started in my 30s, she said, eyes welling up. Jessica turned off the TV and asked herself this question: do I want to be this woman in 27 years? Answer: no. So what do I want? The answer came: I want to be free. What did freedom mean? Jessica took a piece of paper and wrote, "Freedom for me means 1. No rent anxiety. 2. No stress paying bills. 3. No panic when the car breaks down. 4. No fear of getting fired. 5. The power to say no." Then she wrote, "What I don't have today." None of it. And in that moment, she understood. There was only one thing that needed to change. That was herself. From victim to creator. Now I'm going to tell you something. It's going to be hard. Changing your mindset is harder than physical change because your brain has patterns established over years. Saying I can't is easy. Saying I will is hard. But here's the difference. The first enslaves you. The second frees you. Jessica understood this. She couldn't change $12.50 per hour, but she could change what she did with those $12.50. Marcus earned the same money, but Marcus ended every month at zero. Jessica, 5 years later, had saved $47,000. The difference wasn't the money. The difference was the mindset.
Your turn now. The first mental transformation. Take a piece of paper. Now. Write at the top, "My freedom." Below it, write 3 things. 1. What does freedom mean to me? 2. What don't I have today? 3. Where do I want to be in 5 years? Be honest. Nobody will see this. This is for you. Write, and when you finish, you'll notice something. You already feel different. Because the moment you write, you stop being a victim and become a creator. Jessica did this, and her life began to change with that paper. Because wealth is not a gift, it's a habit, and habits start with mental decisions. Marcus is still complaining. Jessica is free. Which side do you want to be on? Decide, now, because tomorrow might be too late. Chapter 2. The Reality of Money. Escaping Debt Hell. Debt is modern slavery. Did that sound harsh? Good, because that's the truth. On Jessica's 28th birthday, she had $8,500 in credit card debt. Monthly minimum payment, $220. Interest rate, 22.99%. When she calculated it, she was shocked. If she only made minimum payments, she'd finish this debt in 14 years and 3 months, and the total amount she'd pay, $22,450. For $8,500 of debt, you'll pay $22,450. Banks don't tell you this, but math is merciless. How debt forms. Small leaks, big disasters. When people ask Jessica, "How did you get $8,500 in debt?" her answer was, "I don't know." And that's most people's answer. Because debt doesn't happen all at once. It accumulates through small daily decisions. Here's Jessica's debt anatomy. Year 1, age 23. Car repair, no cash, credit card, $1,200. She said, "I'll pay it off right away." She didn't.
Year 2, friend's wedding, gift, plane ticket, $800. Christmas presents, $600. Total debt, $2,600. Year 3, dentist expenses, insurance didn't cover, $1,400. Electronics, new phone, laptop, $1,200. Daily expenses, food, clothes, $900. Total debt, $6,100. Years 4 and 5. Credit card interests accumulated. Sometimes couldn't make payments, late fees added. New emergencies, car, health added more. Total $8,500. See, no single big mistake, dozens of small ones. And each one seemed logical, emergency, necessary, just this once. But the result, $8,500 in debt. And this debt was costing $160 per month in interest. $160 every month for nothing. This money was being thrown into a fire. Jessica's confrontation with debt. The painful slap of reality. That birthday night, Jessica wrote down all her debts, added them up with a calculator. Credit card 1, $4,200, 22.99% interest. Credit card 2, $2,800, 19.99% interest. Car loan, $1,500, 8.5% interest. Total $8,500. Then she added up the monthly minimum payments. Card 1, $140. Card 2, $80. Car, $180. Total $400 per month just for debt. Monthly income, $1,800 net. Debt payment, $400. Remaining, $1,400. Rent, $750. Food, $300. Gas, $120. Phone plus internet, $80. Electric, $60. Other, $90.
Total, $1,400. Remaining savings, $0. Jessica cried that night because she realized debt had trapped her. She was working, but she wasn't free. Her paycheck came, but she was saving nothing. She wasn't in prison, but she wasn't free either. And worst of all, this system would last 14 years. But then the tears stopped, and anger began. "No," she said, "not 14 years. I'm going to finish this shit in 2 years." And that night, she made a plan. The snowball method. Jessica's debt destruction strategy. Jessica researched online, found Dave Ramsey's debt snowball method. The principle was simple. 1. List all debts from smallest to largest. 2. Pay maximum on small debt, minimum on others. 3. When small debt is finished, add that payment to the next one. 4. Grow like a snowball, accelerate. Jessica's ranking. 1. Car loan, $1,500. 2. Credit card 2, $2,800. 3. Credit card 1, $4,200. Her plan. Month 1. Car loan gets $400 plus extra $150 equals $550. Other cards get only minimum. Month 3. Car loan finished. Month 4. The $550 she paid for the car now goes to card 2. Card 2 gets $80 minimum plus $550 equals $630 per month. Month 8. Card 2 finished. Month 9. Now all money goes to card 1. Card 1 gets $140 minimum plus $630 equals $770 per month. Month 14. Card 1 finished. Total time, 14 months. She even beat her goal of 24 months. But the question was, where would she find the extra $150? Finding leak money. Jessica's first cuts. Jessica wrote down every expense for a week, opened a note on her phone, recorded everything. Monday. Morning coffee, Starbucks, $5.20. Lunch, Chipotle, $11.50. Dinner, ready-made pizza, $8.90.
Gas, $40. Total, $65.60. Tuesday. Coffee, $5.20. Lunch, sandwich shop, $9.80. Dinner, McDonald's, $7.50. Netflix, Spotify, gym memberships, daily portion, $5. Total, $27.50. By the weekend, Jessica was shocked. Weekly total, $287. Monthly projection, $1,148. But wait, monthly income, $1,800. Fixed expenses, rent, bills, $1,000. Debt payments, $400. $1,800 minus $1,000 minus $400 equals $400 remaining. But she's spending $1,148. How is she doing this math? She wasn't. That's why debt was growing. Now came the real question. Where could she cut? Eating out. Current, $600 per month. If she cooked at home, $250 per month. Savings, $350 per month. Coffee, Starbucks every day, $150 per month. Home coffee, $20 per month. Savings, $130 per month. Subscriptions, Netflix, Spotify, gym, others, $85 per month. Canceling unnecessary ones, $25 per month. Savings, $60 per month. Total savings potential, $540 per month. Jessica couldn't believe her eyes. $540 every month. She was just spending it stupidly. But then she thought, so I won't drink coffee? I'll never eat out? Is this life? And this is where most people stop. They say, too hard, and give up. Jessica thought that at first too. But then she picked up the calculator again and wrote,
If I save $540 per month, my debts finish in 8 months instead of 14. I can live without coffee for 8 months. Then I live debt-free for my entire life. If I don't save, my debts last 14 years. I work like a slave for 14 years, and I'll drink coffee but won't be happy. The choice was clear. Suffer for 8 months, then be free, or stay a slave for 14 years and say, at least I have my coffee. Jessica didn't choose coffee. She chose freedom. The first 3 months, hell and determination. The first month wasn't easy. Every morning, driving to the store, she'd pass Starbucks. The smell would hit her nose, customers sitting inside, and Jessica would drive past. She'd drink the thermos coffee she made at home. It was cheap, it tasted terrible, but it was free. At lunch break, her friends would go out to eat. Come on, Jessica, let's go to Chipotle. Nope, I brought lunch from home. Oh, come on! What's the harm in one burrito? $11.50 in harm. See you later. Her friends looked at her strangely. Some mocked her. What happened? Did you go bankrupt? Jessica didn't answer.
She ate her sandwich from a plastic container, homemade, cost $2.50 to make. And every day she'd check her phone app, debt tracking app, enter the numbers. Car loan, $1,500, $1,300, $1,050, $750. Each decrease was a victory. At the end of the second month, the car loan was finished. $1,500 gone, erased. Jessica didn't go out that night. She sat at home, looked at her account. Car debt, $0.00. And she smiled. For the first time in 5 years, she really smiled. Because that zero wasn't just a number. It was the first taste of freedom. And that night, she didn't miss Starbucks coffee because freedom tasted sweeter than coffee.
Your turn now. Face your debts. Stop. Don't keep reading. You're going to do something now. Open your phone. Open a note. Title, My Debts. Write 1. Debt name. Credit card, car, student loan. 2. Amount. 3. Interest rate. 4. Monthly minimum payment. Write them all. Don't hide, don't ignore. Because what you ignore controls you. What you face, you control. When you finish, add them up. What's your total debt? Now, write this. I will finish this debt in X months. You determine the X number. Be realistic, but aggressive. Jessica said 14 months. She finished in 8. What will you say? Write now. Because a goal you don't write is just a dream. A goal you write is a plan. And plans become reality. Start today. Not tomorrow, not next week, now. Because every day you wait, debt grows, interest accrues, freedom moves further away. But every day you take action, you move one day closer to freedom. And in 12 months, you'll be a different person. Jessica did this, and it worked. Now it's your turn. Go, write your debts, and start the war. Because this war is the most important war of your life, and you need to win. Chapter 3, The Art of Budgeting, the Map of Your Money. The word budget is boring, even scary. Most people hear budget and think restriction, poverty, no fun. But the truth is this, a budget is freedom. Why? Because a budget is the map of your money, and a man without a map gets lost. By the time Jessica turned 29, she'd finished 6 months of her debts. Car loan gone, small credit card gone, big card remaining, $4,200. And that's when she understood. Getting out of debt is enough, but to become wealthy, you need a budget. Because when debt ends, what would she do? Spend again? Enter the same cycle again? No. Jessica would do something different. She would build a financial system for the rest of her life. What is a budget? The truth most don't know. A budget isn't a prison for money, it's a plan. Jessica understood it this way. A budget is giving every dollar a job. $1, you're going to rent. $2, you're going to food. $3, you're going to savings. Every dollar knows where it's going, and you're in control. Living without a budget is like driving without GPS. You go until the gas runs out, then ask, where am I? Living with a budget means you know every turn. You know where you're going. You don't get lost. Jessica's first budget, the 50-30-20 rule. Jessica researched on YouTube, found the 50-30-20 rule suggested by Senator Elizabeth Warren. 50% goes to needs: rent, food, transportation, bills, minimum debt payments. 30% goes to wants: entertainment, eating out, hobbies, vacation.
20% goes to savings and investment. Emergency fund, retirement, investments. Jessica applied this rule to her own income. Monthly income, $1,800. 50%, $900, needs. Rent, $750. Electricity, water, $60. Phone, $40. Gas, $120. Total, $970. Oh no, needs were already taking 54%. 30%, $540 once. Eating out limited, $150. Entertainment, $50. Other, $50. Total, $250 instead of $540. 20%, $360, savings and investment. Emergency fund, $200. Extra debt payment, $160. Total, $360. Mathematically, $970 plus $250 plus $360 equals $1,580, less than $1,800, okay. But Jessica realized other people's 30% goes to luxury spending. Hers, only 14%. Is it fair? No. But is it necessary? Yes. Because that 14% luxury and 20% savings would make her free in 2 years. And freedom was more valuable than all luxuries.
Zero-based budgeting. Every dollar has a job. 6 months later, Jessica moved to a more aggressive method, zero-based budgeting. Principle: at the end of the month, the account should be zero. Meaning, if you have $1,800 income, assign a job to all $1,800. No dollar should be idle. Here's Jessica's zero-based budget. Income, $1,800. Expenses, rent, $750. Electricity, water, $60. Phone, $40. Gas, $120. Food, groceries, $250. Debt payment, $400. Emergency fund, $100. Entertainment, $50. Personal, $30. Total, $1,800. Remaining, $0. Yes, zero. No money left. At first, this scared Jessica. What if there's an emergency? But then she understood. She'd already set aside $100 for emergencies, and when debt finished, that $400 would be freed up. Patience, discipline, plan. Tracking system, Jessica's daily ritual. Making a budget is easy. Sticking to a budget is hard. Jessica spent 10 minutes every day. Morning routine, 5 minutes. 1. Open budget app on phone. She used Mint. 2. Check yesterday's spending. 3. Plan today. What will you spend? Evening routine, 5 minutes. 1. Enter all today's spending. 2. Look at categories, food, transportation, etc. 3. Compare to goal. Did you exceed the limit? Every Saturday, 30 minutes. Weekly summary. Which category did you overspend in? Where can you save? Next week's plan. End of every month, 1 hour. Full monthly report. Goal versus reality. Next month's budget. Debt status update. Was this discipline boring? Yes. But these 10 minutes saved Jessica $50 every day. 10 minutes equals $50. Hourly rate, $300. Her boss paid her $12.50 per hour, but the hourly rate she paid herself was $300. Which job makes more sense? Unexpected expenses. Jessica's crisis tests. Make a budget, but life screws your plan. In the 3rd month, Jessica's car broke down. Repair, $380. Panic. Emergency fund was only $300. Old Jessica would do this.
charge to credit card, pay later. But new Jessica thought differently. 1. Use $300 from emergency fund. 2. For the remaining $80, cancel this month's entertainment budget, $50, lower food budget, $30. So she didn't charge to credit card, she solved it within the system. And yes, she didn't go out that month. She ate beans and rice. But she didn't take on debt. And that's the big difference. Small sacrifices, big freedom. Income increase. Jessica's side income move. In the 9th month, Jessica realized something. She couldn't cut more. Everything was already at minimum. If she wanted to progress faster, reducing expenses wasn't enough. She needed to increase income. But how? Getting a promotion would take a year. Finding another job, same thing. Solution? Side income. Jessica's skills? She spoke good English. She typed fast. She knew how to be organized. She signed up on Fiverr and Upwork, offered simple jobs. English homework correction, $20 per hour. Data entry, $15 per hour. Social media management, $25 per hour. First month, she found only 2 jobs. Total earnings, $60. Was it little? Yes, but it was more than zero. Second month, $180. Third month, $320. She was working 5 to 8 hours per week. Evenings, weekends, she was tired. But that $320 shortened her debt payoff time by 3 months. And most importantly, Jessica understood this. Income doesn't have to come from one source. Her job at the store was main income, but side income was her freedom fund. Your turn now. Build your own budget. Okay, enough theory. Action time. You're going to do this now. Step 1. Write your income. What's your monthly net income? After taxes, what hits your hand? Step 2. Categorize your expenses. Needs are rent, food, transportation, and bills. Wants are entertainment, eating out, hobbies. Savings are emergency, debt, and investment.
Step 3. Apply the 50-30-20 rule. 50% of income to needs, 30% to wants, 20% to savings. Doesn't fit? Normal. Jessica's didn't either. That's why you adapt. Step 4. Track every day. Download an app, Mint, YNAB, or even Excel works. Record every expense, every single expense. Step 5. Review every week. Saturday morning, 15 minutes. Have coffee and examine the numbers. Is this boring? Yes. What happens if you don't? You get lost. Jessica did this. 8 months later, debt-free. 2 years later, $20,000 saved. You can do it too, but you have to do it. Now go. Open your phone, open Excel, or take paper and pen, and start. Because a budget is the map of your money, and a man without a map always gets lost. You won't get lost. Start now. Chapter 4. Emergency Fund, the first foundation of freedom. Life tests you, always, when you're not ready. When Jessica finished her debts, 14 months had passed. Now there was no more $400 monthly debt payment. She could breathe. And her first thought was, finally I can live a little, buy myself something. New shoes, new phone, maybe a short vacation. But then she read The Simple Path to Wealth. J.L. Collins said, being debt-free is not financial freedom. It's the first step of financial security. Second step, emergency fund.
And Jessica understood. Being debt-free is good, but without an emergency fund, the next crisis puts you back in debt. The cycle continues. What is an emergency fund? An emergency fund is money that exists only for you, only for emergencies. What's an emergency? Car broke down. Repair costs $500. You got laid off, can't find work for 3 months. You got sick, health expenses $1,000. Refrigerator died, new one costs $800. Not an emergency. Shoe sale, friend's birthday present, new phone when your old one works. I exceeded my budget this month, I'll take from emergency fund. An emergency fund is insurance. You hope not to use it, but if you have it, you sleep easy.
How much should an emergency fund be? Experts recommend 3 to 6 months of living expenses. Jessica's monthly expenses, $1,400 after debts finished. 3 months equals $4,200. 6 months equals $8,400. $8,400. Sounds like a lot, right? Jessica thought so too. How do I save $8,400? But then she thought this way. She finished debt in 14 months. She can finish emergency fund in 12 months too. $700 per month for 12 months equals $8,400. Hard, but possible. And she set out. First, $1,000, beginning security. But first, mini goal. First $1,000. Dave Ramsey says, even while paying debt, build a $1,000 emergency fund because small crises will happen. Jessica did this. First 2 months, she set aside $500 per month, became $1,000. And this $1,000 was a psychological shield. If car breaks down, $1,000 there. No need for credit card. If dentist expense comes up, $1,000 there. No panic. This $1,000 made her feel this for the first time. I'm ready. Jessica's journey to $8,400. Debts finished, monthly $400 freed up, Jessica made the plan. Monthly savings, $700. Old debt payment, $400. Side income, $250. Expense reduction, $50. 12-month plan. Month 1, $700. Total, $700. Month 2, $700. Total, $1,400. Month 3, $700. Total, $2,100. Month 12, $700. Total, $8,400. First 3 months were easy. Motivation was there. She saw the goal. Months 4 through 6 were hard, monotonous. Every day the same. Felt like nothing was changing. Jessica got bored. Why am I saving so much? What if I lived a little? But every time she got bored, she checked her account. $4,900. She'd passed halfway. And she continued.
Months 7 through 9 were easier because now there was momentum. She was adding $700 every month. The number was growing. Month 10, $7,000, almost done. Month 11, $7,700. Month 12, $8,400. That day, Jessica looked at her account, $8,400.00, and her eyes welled up. Because this money wasn't just money, it was freedom. Now she wasn't afraid of any crisis. Even if she got fired, she could last 6 months. If the car broke down, she could pay for it. If she got sick, she could cover it. She was free. Where should an emergency fund stay? Important point. Emergency fund should be easily accessible but untouchable. Yes, high-yield savings account, 4 to 5% annual. Money market account. No. Stocks, value can drop. Crypto, too volatile. Under the mattress, inflation eats it. Regular checking account, too easy to spend. Jessica opened a high-yield savings account at Ally Bank, 4.5% annual interest. $8,400 generates $378 per year in interest. She was earning $378 just by letting it sit. Free money. Did she use the emergency fund? Yes, once. In month 16, Jessica got sick. COVID. Couldn't go to work. 2 weeks quarantine. At the store, she was hourly. If she didn't work, no money. 2 weeks equals $400 lost. But she had an emergency fund. Withdrew $400, paid bills. No stress. COVID passed. Returned to work. 2 months later, put that $400 back. System worked. And Jessica understood then. Without emergency fund, I would have charged a credit card again. Would have gone back into debt. But now, I'm free. Your turn now. Save your first $1,000. Big goals scare. Small goals motivate. Your first goal, $1,000 emergency fund. How will you do it?
Step 1. Set the goal clearly. $1,000 emergency fund in X months. X depends on how much you'll save per month. $100 per month equals 10 months. $200 per month equals 5 months. $500 per month equals 2 months. Be realistic, but be aggressive. Step 2. Set up automatic transfer. 1 day after payday, X dollars automatically goes to savings account. If you don't see it, you won't spend it. Step 3. Find side income. Work 5 extra hours per week. Sell something. Do freelance. Every extra dollar gets you 1 step closer to the goal. Step 4. Track every month. Month 1, $200, 20% completed. Month 2, $400, 40%. Month 3, $600, 60%. Visual progress brings motivation. Step 5. When you reach $1,000, don't touch it. This money is only for emergencies. New shoes are not an emergency. Car repair is an emergency. Differentiate. Jessica did this. You can too. $1,000 might seem small, but it's life-changing. Because that $1,000 tells you for the first time, you're ready. Even if life tests you, you can withstand it. And that feeling is more valuable than wealth. Now go. Open a savings account. Deposit your first $100 and start the journey. Because emergency fund is the first foundation of freedom. And you're going to build this foundation. Start today. Chapter 5. Investment Basics. Making your money work. Working makes you money. But to become wealthy, your money needs to work for you. Jessica was 30 years old, debt-free, had an $8,400 emergency fund, and for the first time in her life, she thought, so what do I do now? Most people get here and stop. They say, enough, I'm saved. But Jessica was different. She'd read her book, The Simple Path to Wealth. And as J.L. Collins said, getting out of debt is the beginning. Building wealth is the real work. Jessica wanted to be wealthy, but how?
What is investing? The thing everyone misunderstands. Most people hear investing and think, buy stocks and get rich immediately. Crypto, meme coins, to the moon rocket emoji, day trading, Robinhood, glued to the screen. Wrong. That's not investing. Investing is money growing over time, with patience, with consistency, boringly. Warren Buffett is 93 years old, worth $120 billion. How did it happen? Because he was a genius when young? No. Because he was lucky, partially. But the real reason? He invested consistently for 75 years. 75 years. Never stopping. And that's the secret of wealth. Time plus consistency plus compound interest equals fortune. Compound interest, the eighth wonder of the world. Jessica watched a video on YouTube. Title: Compound Interest Explained. The video asked, there are two people. Person A started at 25, invested $200 per month for 10 years, then stopped. Invested a total of $24,000, then never touched it. Person B started at 35, invested $200 per month for 30 years, invested a total of $72,000. Both got 8% annual returns. Who's richer at 65? Jessica said person B, because they invested 3 times more money. Answer: person A. Person A at 65, $468,000. Person B at 65, $297,000. And Jessica understood in that moment, starting early is more important than investing a lot of money.
Jessica's first investment account. Where to invest? Jessica researched options. 1. Savings account, 4 to 5% annual, safe but low. 2. Bonds, 5 to 6% annual, safe, medium returns. 3. Stocks, 10% average annual, risky but high returns. 4. Real estate, variable, requires high initial capital. 5. Crypto, very risky, like gambling. Jessica decided stocks, but not individual companies, index funds. Why? Because J.L. Collins said, don't invest in a single company. If the company goes bankrupt, your money's gone. Instead, invest in the entire market, like an S&P 500 index fund. What is the S&P 500? The S&P 500 is an index containing America's 500 largest companies. Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Tesla, Walmart, all inside. When you invest in an S&P 500 index fund, you invest in 500 companies at once. If one company goes bankrupt, you still have the other 499. Risk is spread. And historically, the S&P 500 has given an average 10% annual return over the last 100 years. Some years it gained 20%. Some years it lost negative 10%. But average 10%. Jessica's choice? Vanguard VOO S&P 500 Index Fund. Low expense ratio, 0.03%. Meaning for $10,000 invested, only $3 per year in fees. Easy, simple, boring, but it works. First $100, Jessica's first stock purchase. Jessica opened a Vanguard account. Online, took 15 minutes. Transferred $100 from the bank. VOO shares were $400 that day, so she bought 0.25 shares. You can buy fractional shares. And in that moment, nothing happened. She looked at her account. $100. Still $100. That's it, she said. I'm not rich. Because wealth doesn't come all at once. It comes slowly, quietly. But Jessica continued anyway. Every month on the 15th, $500 automatically went to her Vanguard account, automatically buying VOO. She didn't even look. She just continued.
1 year later, the numbers speak. 1 year later, Jessica looked at her account. Money invested, $6,000, 500 times 12 months. Account value, $6,420. She'd made $420 without doing anything, just sat and waited. And that $420 was just the beginning, because now she had $6,420, and that $6,420 would start earning too. Compound interest was working. 5 years later, the snowball growing. By the time Jessica turned 35, the numbers looked like this. Money invested, $30,000, 500 times 12 times 5 years. Account value, $38,700. $8,700 in gains without doing any work. She'd just been consistent. $500 every month, never stopping. And this $38,700 was now growing on its own. If Jessica stopped, meaning didn't invest any more money, this $38,700 in 30 years at 65 would become $38,700 times 10% annual times 30 years equals $673,000. Meaning, even if Jessica stopped at 35, by retirement, she'd have $673,000. But Jessica didn't stop. She continued. 10 years later, age 40, freedom is visible. By the time Jessica turned 40, money invested $60,000. 500 times 12 months times 10 years. Account value $103,000. She'd passed her first $100,000. And this point was important because Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett's partner, said, "The first $100,000 is the hardest part because compound interest isn't working yet. But after $100,000, the snowball grows on its own." And Charlie was right. Now Jessica had $103,000, and this money was earning 10% per year. 10% times $103,000 equals $10,300 annual gain.
Meaning even if Jessica didn't add any money, her account would grow $10,000 every year. At the store, to earn $10,000, she'd need to work 9 months. But her investment account was earning $10,000 just by sitting. Money was now working for her. When the market drops, Jessica's real test. 2020, COVID-19. Markets crashed. In March 2020, the S&P 500 dropped 34%. Jessica's account from $85,000 down to $56,000. $29,000 loss in one day. Jessica panicked. "I'm losing everything." "Should I sell?" she said. "Maybe pull all the money and put it in a savings account?" But then she remembered. What did J.L. Collins say? When the market drops, don't sell, because the loss isn't realized. It's only on paper. If you sell, the loss becomes real. But if you hold, the market comes back. Jessica took a deep breath. Didn't sell. Instead, she kept investing her $500 every month. Because the market had dropped, shares were on sale, she was buying cheaper. And 6 months later, the market came back. $56,000 became $92,000. And Jessica understood this. Those who don't sell when the market drops become wealthy. Those who panic lose. Your turn now. Take your first investment step. Investing seems scary, but it's actually simple. Here's what you'll do. Step 1. Open an account. Vanguard, Fidelity, or Charles Schwab in America. 15 minutes, online. Step 2. Invest your first $100. Start small. Don't take big risks. Step 3. Choose an index fund. S&P 500, VOO from Vanguard, or SPY. Total stock market, VTI. Keep it simple.
Step 4. Set up automatic investment. Every month after payday, X dollars automatically goes to investment. Out of sight, out of mind. Step 5. Don't look. Don't check daily. Don't check weekly. Monthly check is enough, because if you check every day, you'll panic. Step 6. Wait 30 years. Yes, 30 years. Patience, consistency, compound interest. And in 30 years, you're wealthy. Jessica did this. You can too. But you have to do it. Start today, not tomorrow, with $100. Because the you in 30 years depends on what you do today. And if you don't start today, in 30 years, you'll regret it. Go. Open an account, invest your first $100, and start the freedom journey. Because investing is making your money work for you, and you won't work for money anymore. Money will work for you. Start now. Chapter 6. Side Income Strategies, the Second Income Source. One income source is not security. Security is multiple income sources. Jessica worked at the store, $12.50 per hour. Was it secure? No. When COVID came, working hours at the store were reduced. Instead of 40 hours per week, she worked 30 hours. Her income dropped 25%, and she understood in that moment. Being dependent on one job is risk. Solution: side income. What is side income? Side income is everything you earn outside your main job. Freelance work, online sales, consulting, courses, rental income. Your main job is your safety net. Side income is your freedom fund. Jessica's goal, $500 per month in side income. Why $500? Because $500 per month equals $6,000 per year, and $6,000 means extra pumping into the investment account. $6,000 times 30 years times 10% return equals $1 million. Yes, $1 million. Side income was the key to becoming a millionaire.
Jessica's first side income attempts, failures. Jessica started immediately, but first attempts were disasters. Attempt 1. Fiverr, social media management. Posted an ad. I'll manage your Instagram account, $50 per month. Result: 0 clients. Waited 2 months. Nobody was interested. Attempt 2. Etsy, handmade products. Made bracelets. Tried to sell them. Result: 2 sales in 3 months. Total earnings, $30. Time spent, 40 hours. Hourly rate, 75 cents. Attempt 3. Uber driving. Car was broken. Repair, $1,200. Didn't do it. Jessica was disappointed. Side income isn't possible. Not everyone can do it. But she didn't give up, because she knew there was a way. She just needed to find the right way. Turning point: discovering her skills. Jessica asked herself, what can I do? What am I really good at? She wrote on paper. My skills. 1. I speak good English, native language. 2. I type fast, lots of practice at the register. 3. I know how to be organized. 4. I'm patient and detail-oriented. Then she asked, who needs these skills? She researched and found virtual assistant, VA. What does a virtual assistant do? Email management, calendar organizing, data entry, simple research, social media post planning. Jessica could do all of these, and there was market demand, a lot of it. First client, $15 per hour. Jessica signed up on Upwork, created a profile. Title: Detail-oriented and reliable virtual assistant, email and calendar management. Description: Hello, I'm Jessica. I've been working in customer service for 5 years. I'm strong at being organized, paying attention to detail, and delivering on time. I can help you with email management, calendar arrangement, and data entry. I can work 10 to 15 hours per week.
Rate: $15 per hour. First week, applied to 12 job postings, 0 responses. Second week, 18 more postings. 1 response came. A woman, small online store owner, bombarded with emails, needed help. 5 hours per week, organize my emails, prepare responses as drafts, I'll approve and send. Rate: $15 per hour times 5 hours equals $75 per week. Jessica accepted. First month, earned $300. Second month, $300 more.
Client was happy. Jessica is great. We're continuing. And Jessica's first regular side income had started. Second and third clients. Momentum. In the third month, Jessica found a second client, a blog writer, research work, and social media post planning. $20 per hour times 6 hours per week equals $120 per week, $480 per month. In the fourth month, third client, a small startup, simple data entry and CRM updating. $18 per hour times 4 hours per week equals $72 per week, $288 per month. Total side income, $300 plus $480 plus $288 equals $1,068 per month. Jessica had exceeded her goal of $500 per month, and now she was earning an extra $1,200 per month. But there was a problem. Time. She was working 40 hours per week at the store, 15 more hours on side jobs. Total, 55 hours per week. She was tired. No social life. Working weekends. Was it sustainable? No. But was it necessary? Yes. Because this $1,000 was her freedom fund. And Jessica knew if she continued like this for 2 to 3 years, then she could relax. Short-term pain, long-term gain. Automation and efficiency. Work less, earn more. In the 6th month, Jessica noticed something. She was repeating the same tasks. Email templates were similar for every client. Social media planning, always the same format. "Why don't I standardize these tasks?" she said. And she did. Created email templates. Thank you email template. Follow-up email template. Information request email template. She customized these for each client and used them. Time savings, 30%. Used tools. Trello for task tracking. Zapier for automation. When email arrives, automatically add to CRM. Canva for social media visuals, ready-made templates. Efficiency increased. Now she finished 15 hours of work in 10 hours. Same money, less time. And Jessica understood this. It's not about working more, it's about working smarter. 2 years later, side income became main income. Jessica was 32 years old. She'd been doing side income for 2 years, and one day she did the math. Store, 40 hours per week, $2,000 per month. Virtual assistant, 15 hours per week, $1,200 per month. Hourly calculation, store, $12.50 per hour. Virtual assistant, $20 per hour. She'd raised her rate. And Jessica realized this. My side job is more profitable than my main job. She made a decision. Reduce hours at the store, 30 hours instead of 40, and allocate 20 hours to side work. New income. Store, 30 hours per week, $1,500 per month. Virtual assistant, 20 hours per week, $1,600 per month. Total, $3,100. Old income, $3,200. Almost the same. But the difference, she was freer now. Less time at the store, more flexibility. And virtual assistant work could be done from home. She didn't need to go to an office. Freedom was increasing. Your turn now. Make your side income plan. Side income is different for everyone, but the steps are the same. Step 1. List your skills. Take paper. Write, what can I do? What do I love? What will people pay me for? Step 2. Do market research. Go to Upwork, Fiverr, Freelancer.com. Which jobs are in demand? What are people paying for? Step 3. Take the first step. It doesn't have to be perfect. Start. Find your first client. Even if it's $10 per hour, start.
Step 4. Get feedback and improve. Is the client happy? What's missing? How can you improve? Step 5. Automation and efficiency. If you're repeating the same tasks, Standardize them. Step 6. Raise your rate. Cheap at first, but after 6 months, your experience increased. Raise your rate. Jessica started at $15 per hour. 2 years later, became $25 per hour. You can do it too. But you have to do it. Today, choose a platform: Upwork, Fiverr, or LinkedIn. Create a profile. Apply to the first posting. Even if you get rejected, keep going. Jessica applied to 30 postings, found one client, but that one client opened the door. Now go. Take the first step. Because side income is the second leg of financial freedom. First leg, reduce your expenses. Second leg, increase your income. 2 legs take you to freedom. Start today. Chapter 7. Financial Freedom, the Finish Line. What does financial freedom mean? Most people think becoming a millionaire, buying a yacht, going on a world tour. No. Financial freedom is not luxury. It's freedom of choice. Financial freedom means you don't have to work at a job you don't want. Even if your boss fires you, you don't panic. Bills don't stress you. You can make decisions without thinking, do I have money? Jessica was 35 years old. Debts, $0. Emergency fund, $10,000. Investment account, $87,000. Monthly income, store plus side job, $3,200. Monthly expenses, $1,800. Monthly savings/investment, $1,400. And one day, Jessica did the math. What if I got fired tomorrow? Answer: emergency fund, $10,000, enough to live for 5 months. Virtual assistant work exists. I'm earning $1,200 per month. Investment account is growing, $87,000 gain per year on paper. Meaning, even if I'm unemployed, I can live comfortably for 6 months, and in those 6 months, I can find a new job.
In that moment, Jessica understood. I'm free. She no longer feared her job, didn't fear her boss, didn't fear paying rent. For the first time in her life, she was free. The 4% rule. How much money is needed for retirement? Jessica asked the next question. Can I live without working at all? Answer: the Trinity study and the 4% rule. The 4% rule. You can spend 4% of your retirement fund each year and your money won't run out. How? Because your investments earn an average of 7 to 10%. You spend 4%, 3 to 6% continues to grow. Example: if you spend $40,000 per year, 40,000 divided by 0.04 equals $1 million needed. Meaning, if you have $1 million in an investment account, you can spend $40,000 per year and your money won't run out. Jessica's annual expenses, $21,600, $1,800 times 12 months. 21,600 divided by 0.04 equals $540,000, meaning Jessica needed $540,000 for complete financial freedom. She currently had $87,000, missing $453,000. But in that moment, Jessica didn't give up because she knew compound interest was working. If she continued investing $1,400 every month, 5 years later, $198,000. 10 years later, $376,000. 15 years later, $652,000. Meaning, in 15 years, Jessica would be 50 years old and could retire. Retire at 50. Most people retire at 65. Jessica, 15 years earlier. And that's the power of financial freedom.
The FIRE movement. Financial independence. Retire early. Jessica discovered the FIRE community on Reddit, r/financial independence. FIRE, financial independence, retire early. Thousands of people with the same goal, retire in their 30s and 40s. How were they doing it? 1. Minimizing expenses, lowering living standards. 2. Maximizing income, side jobs, investments. 3. Raising savings rates to 50 to 70%. 4. Investing aggressively. And in 10 to 15 years, reaching financial freedom. Jessica thought, I'm doing FIRE too. I just didn't know the name. And she drew strength from this community. She saw she wasn't alone. Others were walking the same path, and they were succeeding. Age 40, the taste of financial freedom. Jessica was 40 years old. Investment account, $387,000. Goal, $540,000. Missing, $153,000. But now there was momentum. Compound interest was in turbo mode. Every year, her account grew an average of 10%. $387,000 times 10% equals $38,700 annual growth. Meaning, even if Jessica didn't add any money, her account would grow $38,700 every year. But she kept adding anyway, $1,400 every month. And by the time she turned 43, investment account, $563,000. She'd exceeded her goal. And that day, Jessica made a decision. She was going to quit her job at the store. She would no longer stand at the register, because she had a choice. She was free. The last day at the store. On her last day, Jessica put on her uniform, stepped up to the register. 15 years, she'd stood at this register, and now she was leaving. Her boss asked, "Why are you quitting? Did you find another job?" Jessica smiled. "No, I just don't want to work anymore." The boss was surprised. "What do you mean? Don't you have money? You have bills to pay." Jessica, "I have money to pay my bills. I've been preparing for 15 years anyway."
Step 3. Write your current status. How much savings do you have now? Example, $10,000. Step 4. How much time to reach the goal? Use an online compound interest calculator. How much can you invest per month? Example, $500. Let's assume 10% annual return. $10,000 starting, plus $500 per month, plus 10% return. 5 years later, $54,000. 10 years later, $137,000. 15 years later, $266,000. 20 years later, $458,000. 22 years later, $600,000. Step 5. Make your decision. Can you wait 22 years? If you're 30 now, you'll retire at 52. Is it worth it? You decide. Jessica said it was worth it, and she did it. Now it's your turn. Take out the paper, do the math, set your goal, and take the first step. Because financial freedom is not a dream, it's a plan. And do you have a plan? If not, make one now. Because the you in 20 years depends on today's decisions. Go, calculate, make your plan, and start the freedom journey. Because you can be free like Jessica too. But first, you have to start. Today. Now. Conclusion. From checkout to freedom, your journey begins. Jessica Martinez's story is over. 28 years old, cashier at Walmart, $8,500 in debt. 44 years old, financially free, $563,000 investment account, early retirement. 16 years, Is 16 years long in a person's life? Long, but also short. Because in 16 years, you'll be 16 years older anyway. The question is this: how will you spend those 16 years?
Option 1. Do nothing. Continue the same lifestyle. Live paycheck to paycheck. Keep borrowing. Same stress every month. Same cycle every year. In 16 years, you're still in the same place. Maybe a little older, a little more tired, and much more regretful. Option 2. Start today. Do what Jessica did. Take small steps every day. Be consistent. Be patient. In 16 years, you're free. The choice is yours. But know this: 16 years will pass, whether you choose option 1 or option 2. Time won't stop. The difference is this: in one, you'll be free. In the other, you're still imprisoned. Which one are you choosing? Jessica's 7 Golden Rules. Before we finish, let's summarize the 7 golden rules Jessica learned in her 16-year journey. 1. From victim to creator. Nobody is coming to save you. Not your boss, not the government, not the lottery. Nobody. Leave the victim mindset. Don't say, "I can't." Say, "I will." Take control. Your life is in your hands. Jessica understood this at 28, and everything changed from that point. 2. Debt is modern slavery. Save yourself. She had $8,500 in debt. It would take 14 years. But she was aggressive, used the snowball method, made cuts, made sacrifices, and 14 months later, debt-free. Debt holds you captive. Freedom begins with being debt-free. Your first task: destroy your debts. 3. A budget is the map of freedom. Budgeting is boring, but living without a budget is chaos. Give every dollar a job. Track every expense. Review every week. Jessica spent 10 minutes per day, and those 10 minutes earned her thousands of dollars per year. A budget isn't restriction, it's control. 4. Emergency fund is peace at night. $1,000, then 3 months, then 6 months of living expenses. An emergency fund protects you from crises, prevents panic, prevents going back into debt. Jessica saved $8,400, and when COVID came, she didn't panic because she was ready. An emergency fund isn't insurance, it's freedom.
5. Investing is making your money work for you. You can't get rich by working. You get rich by investing. Compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. Time plus consistency plus patience equals wealth. Jessica invested $500 per month. 10 years later, she had $103,000. You work, but let your money work too. Buy index funds, VOO, VTI. Set up automatic investment. Wait 30 years and become wealthy. 6. Side income is the second wing. One income source is risk. Multiple income sources is security. Jessica did virtual assistant work, 15 hours per week, $1,200 per month. This $1,200 was her freedom fund. It went to her investment account. Side income is not luxury, it's necessity. What's your skill? Freelance, online sales, consulting, courses. Find something and start. 7. Consistency beats talent. Jessica wasn't super smart, wasn't lucky, didn't have a special skill. She just did one thing: showed up every day, budgeted every day, saved every month, invested every month, for 16 years, never stopping. And here's the result: financial freedom. Intelligence doesn't win, luck doesn't win, consistency wins.
You be consistent too, and win. Book recommendation: The Simple Path to Wealth. The book that changed Jessica's life, The Simple Path to Wealth by J.L. Collins. Why this book? Because it's simple, clear, no jargon, no complex math. It just says this: 1. Get out of debt. 2. Build emergency fund. 3. Reduce expenses. 4. Increase income. 5. Invest in index funds, VTSAX, VOO. 6. Never sell. Wait patiently. 7. Retire with the 4% rule. That's it. 7 steps. Jessica followed these 7 steps and became free. You can read it too, and you can be free too. Get the book, read, apply, and your life will change.
Final message. Start today, not tomorrow. You've read this story. Now what will you do? Option 1, nothing. You'll say, nice story. Close it and forget. 1 year later, you're in the same place, same problems, same stress. Option 2, do something. Today, now, 5 minutes. Take a piece of paper, write your debts. Open an account. Invest your first $100. Make a budget. Record your expenses. Small step, but a step. Jessica started that way too. One night, birthday night, a paper and a pen. And 16 years later, she was free. You can do it too. But you have to do it. And you have to do it today. Not tomorrow, not next week, not New Year. Today. Because every day you postpone, you move 1 day further from freedom. But every day you take action, you move 1 day closer to freedom. And in 16 years, you'll look back and you'll be grateful. You won't say, I wish I hadn't started that day. You'll say, thank goodness I started that day. That day is today. Now go. Take the paper, take the pen, and write, my financial freedom journey starts today. Write the date below, sign it, and keep it, save it. In 16 years, when you take out that paper, your eyes will well up. Because that day, you'll be free, like Jessica. And that paper was your starting point. Today is that day. Start. Because you deserve to be free too. You can go from checkout to freedom like Jessica. But first, you need to take the first step. And that step is now. Come on, go, do it. Freedom is waiting for you. Appendix. Quick Start Guide, the first 30 days. You read it. You're motivated, but you don't know where to start. Here's Jessica's recommended 30-day Quick Start plan. Days 1 through 7. Face reality. Day 1. List all your debts. Credit cards, student loans, car loans, everything. Amount, interest rate, minimum payment. Day 2. List all your expenses. Get your bank account statements for the last 3 months. Categorize every expense. Rent, food, entertainment, etc. Day 3. List all your income. Main job, side job, rental income, everything. What's your monthly net income? Day 4. Do the math. Income minus expenses equals what? Positive or negative? Where can you make cuts?
Day 5. Create your first budget. Apply the 50-30-20 rule. Needs, wants, savings. Be realistic. Day 6. Choose a tracking system. Mint, YNAB, Excel, or even paper and pen. What matters, use it every day. Day 7. First week evaluation. What did you learn? What surprised you? What will you change? Days 8 through 14. First cuts. Day 8. Review subscriptions. Netflix, Spotify, gym, others. Which ones are you actually using? Cancel the unnecessary. Day 9. Adjust food budget. How much does eating out cost? How much would cooking at home cost? Make a 1-week meal plan. Day 10. Lower energy expenses. Are unnecessary lights off? Is the thermostat setting optimized? Is water consumption under control? Day 11. Examine transportation expenses. Can you use the car less? Is public transportation an option? Can you carpool? Day 12. Lower phone/internet plan. Do you need unlimited or is less enough? Is there a cheaper provider? Make a deal. Day 13. Find the small leaks. Daily coffee, snacks, impulse shopping. How much do these cost per month? Reduce by 50%. Day 14. Second week evaluation. How much money did you cut? Where did you struggle? Next week's goal. Days 15 through 21. Debt attack. Day 15. Debt ranking. Rank from smallest to largest, snowball method. Set goal. Finish in X months. Day 16. Find extra money. Sell unnecessary items. eBay, Facebook Marketplace. Work 1 extra day. Any tax refund? Day 17. Make first extra payment. Pay $50 to $100 extra on smallest debt. Only minimum on others. Day 18. Set up automatic payment. After every payday, automatic debt payment. If you don't see it, you won't spend it. Day 19. Set up motivation system. Make a debt tracking chart. Mark every time you pay. Visual progress equals motivation. Day 20. Talk to creditors. Optional. Request interest rate reduction. Sometimes they can lower it 5 to 10%. Trying is free. Day 21. Third week evaluation. How much has your debt decreased? Do you feel momentum? Continue.
Days 22 through 30. Investment beginning. Day 22. Start emergency fund. First goal, $1,000. Open a separate savings account. Deposit your first $50 to $100. Day 23. Research investment accounts. Vanguard, Fidelity, Charles Schwab. Which platform is right for you? Compare fees. Day 24. Open your first investment account. Online application, 15 minutes. ID, bank information needed. Approval, usually 1 to 2 days. Day 25. Learn about index funds. S&P 500, VOO, SPY. Total stock market, VTI. Choose the simple one. Day 26. Invest your first $100. Start small. Don't take big risks. Buy index fund. And try to forget. Day 27. Set up automatic investment. Every month, X dollars automatically goes. If you don't see it, you won't spend it. Set it and forget it. Day 28. Research side income. List your skills. Go to Upwork, Fiverr. Start first profile. Don't activate yet. Day 29. Set long-term goal. Where do you want to be in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years? Write the numbers. Be realistic, but aggressive. Day 30.
First 30 days evaluation. Now look back. Where did you start 30 days ago? Where are you today? Probably your debts are less, you have a budget, you have your first savings, your investment account is open, your goal is clear. 30 days. Your life has started to change, and this is just the beginning. Now continue. 60 days, 90 days, 365 days. And one day, maybe 5 years from now, maybe 10 years from now, you'll look back and you'll say, those 30 days changed everything. Because change doesn't come with one big step. It comes with 30 small steps. You can take them too. Start today.
Listen, we're finishing this story. But before we finish, I want to talk directly with you. Is Jessica's story real? No, it's fiction. But could it be real? Absolutely. Thousands of people have done this. People like Jessica, working at registers, restaurants, offices, and they're reaching financial freedom. Why can they do it? Because they believe, and they take action. Belief plus action equals results. Belief alone isn't enough. Dreaming isn't enough. Saying, I wish isn't enough. You need action. And action doesn't mean being perfect. It means starting. You don't need to make a perfect budget. You need to make a budget. You don't need to have a perfect investment strategy. You need to have an investment account. You don't need to make a perfect plan. You need to take one step. And will you take that step? I hope yes. Because you deserve this. Financial freedom is not for the rich. It's for disciplined people. And discipline is not a talent. It's a choice. Every day, you make small choices. Starbucks or home coffee. Eat out or eat at home. Spend or save. These choices seem small, but in 10 years, these choices will have shaped your life. Jessica started with small choices and built a big life. You can do it too. But first you have to believe, and then you have to start. I can finish with you, but your journey is just beginning. Go. Take out the paper, take the first step. And one day, maybe 5 years from now, maybe 10 years from now, write me a message and say, I read that story, and I started, and now I'm free. Thank you. I'll be here to listen, because your success is my success. Come on, go, do it. Freedom is waiting for you, and Jessica will be proud of you too. Good luck.